So about 20 years ago, we were living in Poplar Bluff, and we decided to buy an RV. And we were getting ready the next day to go pick it up, and we were talking to some family members, and they were like, well, why don't you just redo a cabin? And so then we started crunching the numbers really fast, and it was going to cost the same amount. So we decided to redo a cabin and spend the summer out here. And then it was in the fall, and Lee said, well, I guess we're going back to town. And I said, let's sell our house in town, and then we ended up living out here.
Our goal was to be closer to the river so that we could put our boat in and then pull back up to the camper. But the route that we went with the cabin ended up being a much better situation. Keener Springs has been a part of the lives of Poplar Bluffians and Williamsvillians since the late 1800s. There was a grain mill that was powered by the spring itself, which brought a lot of settlers in, and so it's just a big part of the history of this area.
Keener Springs is truly a unique property. To have the river frontage, the spring, the cave, the recreational opportunities are endless here. It offers everything.
Well, it's just interesting, you know, to see that much water just coming out of the ground day after day, and it's one of the largest privately owned springs in the state, and it's as soon as you see the spillway that flows out into the river back here, it's very obvious that you're talking about quite a bit of water every day.
One thing too that's nice, you know, you can put a kayak or a canoe in at Markham Springs and just float right back to your house. You know, that's nice. You don't have to be picked up by a van somewhere down the river and wait, you know. We've always really enjoyed that.
Once again, with the frontage, the privacy that they have here, just to get out and walk around the property is just so peaceful, and including the spring that I have behind me. Just the peace alone of being here on the river and listening to the stream go by is so relaxing.
I like the privacy. I like being able to walk around. It's like you're living in a state park. It never gets old to walk around, be able to take your dog for a walk, or, you know, have the kids out. You're not worried about them. It's kind of feels like we raised them in the 70s because they've just had the run of the place. So that's kind of my favorite thing, is just the privacy.